Hello, I am Brande Davison. I am a sparkler, a design team member with Spiegelmom Scraps, and I'm here today with a process video. What you can see there on my table is I am using this amazing cut file called Bloom that came in one of our The Sunday Sparkler free newsletters. I've cut it out twice, with one of them just cut a little bit off the page because I just wanted to show it there at the bottom. And today I am going to be using the Fab Fuchsia sequin mix. I'm pairing this with the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Unforgettable collection, and I've gone through and chosen this wood panel print, if you will, and my two photos are me and my husband's hands with our new wedding rings on our wedding day, as well as us holding hands walking away, which I just absolutely love my husband's hands, so these pictures mean a lot to me, so I really wanted to get them into a layout. So I'm keeping this one pretty simple. I cut the cut files in white, just plain white cardstock. They do come with the word Bloom attached to them, the floral there. I did remove that using my silhouette design kind of area. And then I also cut it twice, as I mentioned. So so that's pretty easy. That's cut in white. And then I just really wanted it to be quite simple and have that white really pop out. So I've backed those two photos in just white cardstock so they stay together. I was thinking about, angling them or putting them one above the other, but I really like them beside each other, so I'm going to stick with that. To bring some more white into the layout and kind of cut down a little bit on the wood pattern there, I have also cut out it's just repeated words around like memories and love and all that good stuff, just a typewriter pattern page, if you will, from Cocoa Vanilla Studio. And I've just cut the middle out of it because I don't want to waste that by taping something over it. And then I've just cut down my wood paneling by just the littlest bit so that the little bit peeks through. I'm now going to this is just a Studio G fuchsia pink, pretty cheap stamp pad, like from the dollar bin at Michael's, and just rough a little bit around the edges just to bring that pink all the way through. Once I start putting on the sequins, I want to make sure there's enough pink to sort of anchor them. To bring more of that script back into the page, I've also done a little bit of a mat around my photos with the same pattern paper that I've got around, that's kind of sort of framing all the way around the outside. And I'm just cutting that down. I did this beautiful, look at that pink fuchsia page. It's just absolutely fantastic, and I love it. Now that I'm looking at it, I wish I would have left it, but I do end up ditching it at some point here. So what you see is basically what you're going to get from my layout. I've got a bit of the Bloom cut file at the bottom, and I apologize that the very bottom of my page is off the video. And then I've got a full size of the cut file behind the photos. And now I'm just going through the die cuts ephemera pack, if you will, from the Unforgettable Cocoa Vanilla collection. And I'm just picking out, I thought I would kind of play on the flowers a little bit. And there's these fantastic little teal, orange, and or pink flowers that come in the ephemera. And so what I'm doing is I'm just picking out a few to sort of just layer on top of the cut file. I end up popping a few of them up on foam dots as well. And then they also had these great, they look quite hand-drawn gray botanical or leaves, if you will. And the cut files doesn't come with any of the leaves, so I thought, that would be a good addition as well, and bring in some more white because the cut files, the die cuts from Cocoa Vanilla are all framed in white. So I just went through and I pulled out a bunch of flowers, a few of the leaves, to do some layering there. I'm now going through the thickers that are included, the foam thickers that are included with the Unforgettable collection, and sort of auditioning. I had a bunch of ideas on what this can say, but I ended up using the best. Like I said, I absolutely love my husband's hand, so I thought that would be a good one for me. And then you can see there, I've poured out the Fab Fuchsia sequin mix, and I'm actually going to not use too many this time. I did debate layering them fully behind the cut file so that it sort of looked like the flowers were pink, but I like the cut file too much to do too much with it. I really want it to stand on its own. And then I just wanted those little pops of sparkle on the page. So I do end up going through and just using the sequins a little bit like enamel dots, which is just always a fabulous option. So I'm going to just try and fast forward a little bit here, but you're going to ultimately be seeing me adhering everything down. You can see there. I did end up putting the cut file between two of the photo mats, so that it kind of gave it some dimension as well. It wasn't just the photo mats on top of it. And I do push the paper back up here again, so I apologize there. I'm just cutting things down, or gluing things down. I need to secure that on the back page. There we go. And then the other thing I do as well is I end up putting the two photos on a very, very thin black mat. Being that I'm bringing in those black foam thickers, it felt a little bit jarring, in fact. So I thought I would put the photos on a black photo mat and then also put the wood panels on a really thin black mat as well. And in my usual style, I just cut out the middle because I don't want to waste it. I can use that in other places. And then you can see there, I've got the words, the typewriter words, the black photo mat, and then the wood paneling. And it just gives a nice little frame, I think, to the whole thing. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to end putting everything back on. And apologies that I keep leaning in there. I'm going to see what I can find in the die cuts again. I feel like I need a little bit more. So I do find a few more flowers to put on there. And playing on a wood background makes almost any color possible. And what I really loved is behind the hands are the hands from our wedding day. There is my bouquet was just a big bunch of sweet peas, and it actually had the same colors, that super vibrant fuchsia color of the sequins, which was then also in this unforgettable collection. And then it also had oranges. It also had some of that teals and the teal green. So it really brought in those little flowers that I found in the die cuts there. So then I'm going through the sequin mix here, and I'm pulling out the big pink ones. They're like a lighter pink. And then there's also that are like the true sequin shape. And then there's also some smaller ones, I guess you would call them. They look like little sequin discs almost. They're just like kind of true circles. And so I just go through, and I'm really going to, like I said, use them like enamel dots. I put a few around any place where there is the cut file plus one of those colored die cuts. So that's me. Most is glued down. I'm going to then go in and add my title, which again is the best. And what I love about foam thickers, or I guess these aren't really thickers. Sorry. They're Cocoa Vanilla Studio equivalent of them, but they're foam sticky lettering. If you that they stick down really, really nice. I like that. I did also look at the sticker sheet, and in the sticker sheet there was a few more leaves, like botanical leaves that are in there. And so I just went through, and wherever I had a die cut leaf or ephemera leaf, I also put a sticker. So I just kind of like that. There was a bit of shine, then there was the die cut, which is really white, and then there's the pop sparkle of the sequin. So kind of three textures, if you will. And then this is the other sticker sheet that comes with the collection, and I am an absolute sucker for phrase stickers. And so I've just put a few there, little sentiments around how I felt about the day that I think just sort of bring the top cut file and photos into the bottom cut file there. So kind of just a little bit of flow, which makes me happy. So this is me just gluing down my sequins. I literally just put a blob of Scotch glue, and then I squish the sequin down. While the glue is wet, it comes through white and it looks a little bit messy, but it dries clear. And then you can't tell once it's dried that there's even any additional glue there, but I do find that it keeps them in place. Even when I put them in the album, or I also hang them on the wall, I don't ever find that my sequins drop. So, and then again, kind of building on multiple textures, I go through and I do add some enamel dots from the collection as well. So you've got kind of the paper, the sequins, the stickers, and then the enamel dots, which I love. I add just a couple of little tags there at the top. There seemed like a white space. And then I go through and I just take some simple white acrylic I bought, no joke, at Walmart, added a little bit of water, took my paintbrush, and I'm just going to splatter a little. And I find just a little bit of the white splatter sort of softens it somehow. I didn't want this to be a mixed media layout, but I think it just brings something softer to it, and you'll see that here. So that's it. Pretty simple. Didn't take me long at all, about an hour. And here you'll see some stills and some close-ups. Thank you so much for swinging by and watching the video. And please do use Brande 15 when you hit the Spiegelmom Scrap shop, and you will get 15% off. I hope you're having a wonderful May.